It's Friday, Wellness Witches. Are you excited for the weekend or are you excited for every day of your life? I'm excited for both. I like the weekend because that's when we go do family fun stuff. I don't know what we're doing. I want to go to Golden to the farmer's market. It's so beautiful down there. It's a nice farmer's market, and then you can walk along the creek. I mean, it's more than a creek, it's almost a river. They kayak down it, and you can sit there and you watch the kayakers and then look up and watch the guys hang gliding. You get both of the daredevils. It's kind of fun. Used to be a car show there every Saturday also, but they still have a car show, but they moved it to the other side of town, and it's not. Hmm, just not the same. But that's a nice long walk. We might give that a try. Financial Freedom Friday. What do you know about financial freedom? Probably just about as much as anybody else. I thought that what I would do on this day is share the literature of some of the greatest teachers of financial thought. The one that I always loved that I shared with my son when he was, oh my God, little, 9, 10, something like that. He he always loved making money. He still loves making money. He likes spending money now too. But the book I want to talk about today is called The Richest Man in Babylon. And George S. Clayson takes you to Babylon to learn about wealth, financial success, and the principles of personal finance. I'm going to pull this down because I keep glancing up there. This book was written quite a while ago. I actually didn't write down when, but the advice, you get the same advice today from Robert Kiyosaki and Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman. There's very little difference in what this man wrote in his fable however many years ago. The first one, pay yourself first. That always confused me, and I never really understood what it meant. That is, take that money and stick it in the savings account. Then you can pay the bills, then you can go out to eat, then you can do all the other stuff. Pay yourself first, then do the things. Savings is, you want to invest, you got to save some money to invest. You need an emergency backup. If the car goes out, do you have a credit card with $2,000 on it to fix the car? You need that money in savings. Arcad is our hero, and he teaches that a portion of our income should be set aside for ourselves before anything else, at least 10%. Wealth, like a tree, grows from tiny seeds. The first copper you save is the seed from which your tree of wealth shall grow. Control your expenses. We are going to beat this one to death in the next few weeks. Of course, you can go out to eat. Of course, you're going to go buy a new pair of shoes when you want them. I'm not saying you can't have fun or you can't go out for drinks with your friends. but it doesn't have to leave you broke. Control your expenses. He says, beware of expenses that seem trivial in the course of a week but mount up in a year. How much is one Starbucks coffee? Oh, it's good coffee. Don't get me wrong. I like Starbucks coffee. But let's say you get one, and I'm going to underestimate it at $5. And you do that 5 days a week on your way to work. That's $25. It's $100 a month, 52 weeks or 12 months, $1,200 a month on coffee? Really? $1,200? Buy yourself a Keurig if you want a fancy one. If you can't do I have I had a $20 when the price went up. My new one was $29.99. Throw my little pods in there, or I can put regular coffee in there, make a pot of coffee. I have a little coffee pot that it says 4 cups. It basically makes 2 large cups of coffee, which is all I need. I don't want to rat on coffee. What about the other things you're wasting money on? Leaving the lights on? You throwing away groceries because you didn't meal plan? Or are you having to order pizza 2 or 3 times a week because you haven't made it to the grocery store? To achieve financial success, we have to get control of our expenses. You need to differentiate between a necessity and a want. I need shoes. I want 10 pair. I need food. I want sea bass. Be frugal. My grandma Mabel, oh my God, that woman, I watched her squeeze the water out of a tea bag and wrap it up in foil. And then later make another cup of tea with the bag and save the foil. Okay? She was a very wealthy woman when the dementia got in. But she also had the money to live in a nice place before she got sick, to have nice things. She always had beautiful furniture, but she didn't waste anything. Invest wisely. Now, there's a saying that it's attributed to this book. It's actually never said in the book, but in the story, he goes and, sorry, the saying is, get your advice on buying diamonds from the diamond broker, not the bricklayer. We see this happen on sitcoms all the time, and I'm sure you've had a brother-in-law or someone who's done it. I want to buy a diamond. I want to invest in gold. Hey, dude, I know a man. And you go out and you meet with the man, and you end up with a piece of junk that's not worth what you gave, and you don't even know that until you try to trade it in. Any investment that you make, don't take my advice. Don't take your next door neighbor unless they happen to be an expert in that. If you want to invest in real estate, talk to someone who's making money on real estate, not the guy at the deli counter who watches YouTube videos about it. Be careful. You don't need to take undue risks. Of course, you can take a little, but multiple streams of income. If you need $1,000 a month and you have that coming from 5 different streams at 200 apiece, and you lose one of those, it's much easier to replace another $200 a month stream than if the only income you have is $1,000 a month from one stream. What happens when that gets blocked up? Multiple streams of income. There's lots of ways of doing that. Investments, home businesses. There are people who are going to freak out when I tell you that multi-level marketing can bring in money when done right. And if nothing else, it can create some fantastic tax write-offs. Seriously, find a product that you like and that you would want to spend money on every month. Don't go into one that, wow, this one has a potential for great money, but I hate their, juju juice. You like essential oils? There's 2 major essential oil companies, both with really good quality products out there. Either one of them you can start a business in for less than $200. In fact, most of them you could get in to start for 40 or $50. Explore your options. Seek knowledge and education. Never stop learning. I love to read. I read all day long. I have books on tape going while I'm folding the laundry and while I'm doing my craft work. I curl up in bed. My digital sunset is at 8. And I might come in here and craft, or I might go in the bedroom and read, or curl up in the bathtub with a magazine. But I'm reading all day long. Sometimes it's fiction. I love Debbie May Comer. She's just feel good reading. You find who you like. If it's Stephen King or Michael Crichton or Ursula Le Guin, make sure you're reading something for fun every day too. But the books by Robert Kiyosaki, Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, Steve Covey, mentioned him yesterday. You want to learn more things about polytheism? Go get a book by John Michael Greer. He has a wonderful one called A World Full of Gods. You can read and learn. If you're going to invest, you should understand finance. I wish I can remember the name. There's a book I read 6 months ago about the creation of the Federal Reserve. Whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, you need to read it. You need to know. The Creature from Jekyll Island. You'll make smarter decisions when you've read a little bit about it. Protect your wealth. Guard thy treasures from loss by investing only where thy principal is safe, where it may be reclaimed if desirable, and where thou will not fail to collect a fair rental. That's a long quote. diversification, making sure you're adequately insured. I know it gets a little pricey, but if you can afford it, keep full coverage insurance on your car. Because I have a 2012 wagon. It's a Scion. It's the little toasters. For the last 10 years, I've had a job where I walked across the street to go to work. My 2012 in 2023 went in last month for its 20,000 mile oil change. Do you really think if I get hit that the other guy's insurance is going to buy me another car with only 20,000 miles on it? No. Keep full coverage insurance if you can. Rental insurance. Now, my place requires it. We've had it for years, even before they did. Rental insurance. You never know when the guy next door is going to decide to overload an outlet and cause a fire. You never know if you're in an upstairs apartment when your grandson's going to shove a t-shirt down the toilet and you're going to flood the unit downstairs and you're the one that has to pay for that. Rental insurance. Rental insurance is also going to cover. I was in a restaurant several years ago. Someone walked past the thing and pulled my purse off the chair. I never leave it hanging on the chair again. But they made it outside, rifled through it. They stole my iPod, which wouldn't be a big deal. But I was going to school at the time through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. I am a certified nutritionist. And all my lessons, my entire coursework, everything was on that iPod. The entire class, everything I'd paid for was on that iPod. I called the school, and to get another one with everything loaded on it was going to be close to $1,000. The school was able to send me proof that I did actually own one. The restaurant was able to show video proof that the purse was, someone walked out the door with it. Fortunately, they didn't take anything else. They stole just the iPod and threw the purse in the parking lot. Someone, while I was being interviewed by the police officer, someone brought the purse in. For a $250 deductible, I got that iPod replaced. It would have cost me $1,000. Renter's insurance back then, I think, was $6. I think I pay 11 something a month now. Make sure you're adequately insured. If you can get disability insurance, remember the one with the goose that, Aflac. If you go hiking around Golden today or this weekend and you fall off the sidewalk and break your ankle, workman's comp's not going to cover you. Your insurance may, and you'll probably hit your deductible within the first hour you're in the emergency room. But if you're like the rest of the world and you don't have $2,000 in savings, how are you paying rent this month? How are you paying the insurance on the car? How are you paying the deductible on your insurance? Aflac or one of the other accident insurances. I will persist until I succeed. Take action and persist. That's what I'm doing. I'm not giving up. I'm going to make this lifestyle work. I want to be able to work from home. I have some money. I don't want to be counting my pennies. I'm going to create multiple streams of income. I've already got a few going. I'm going to be able to stay at home. I love my lunch dates with Shelley. I love being able to be creative. I'm going to persist. And even if for some reason I have to go out and take a part time job just to cover something for a short time, because I'm not going to dip into my emergency fund. I'm not going to drop my full coverage insurance or my life insurance. Those are, oh, there's a fancy word for it, but they're non-touchables. I will persist. Ultimately, the book emphasizes the importance of taking action and persisting in our pursuit of financial success. Go to the library and get this book. If you want to buy it, go buy it. There's a version for kids. You can find the version for kids quite frequently in the thrift stores. I'm going to be recommending a lot of books, and I read a lot, and I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I spend less than $15 a month. Number one, I have the Harvard Classics, and I have the great books, Britannica's great books. So anything in the older wisdom knowledge thing, I pretty much have those. I have a subscription to something called Scribd, scrbd.com. For $9.99 a month, I get magazines, podcasts, unlimited audiobooks, not one like you get on that one through Amazon, unlimited audiobooks, and unlimited reading books. And if they don't have it, my library, I have something called Hoopla. I can pull down free audiobooks and books that I can read on my digital tablet. And you can pick up a little digital tablet for 20 bucks, okay? That's the cost of one hardback book. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing that smells as good as a real book. Thrift stores have tons of them. Subscribe to Scribd, download Kindle, Kindle Unlimited if you want to spend that money. I don't download enough books on Kindle Unlimited to justify it, so I took it off because I get most everything from Scribd. But you can buy books on Kindle. You don't have to spend a fortune. And if you read 15 minutes a day, add it up. 15 minutes a day. How's the math? That's close to 2 hours a week. Let's say you read 2 hours a week. That's not much. That's 104 hours a year. How many books can you read in 104 hours? At least 10. Almost no book's going to take you 10 hours to read. Most books, like The Richest Man in Babylon, I read it in about 2 hours, even if you don't read as fast as I do. It's 10 books you hadn't read yet. The number one thing I want you to get out of this, and we're going to go over so many, 10%, get your emergency fund in order. Get that emergency fund in order. Dave Ramsey, Robert Kiyosaki, Susie Orman, all of those. And I'm using these because they're kind of the three that you hear on PBS all the time. Almost every financial advisor, even the ones you get if you listen on YouTube, there's some really good ones on YouTube. Minority Mindset on YouTube, that guy's brilliant. There's a really fun one. Odetta Rockhead. She gives a lot of stuff on some side hustles and ways of bringing in extra money. And some of those are a little cheesy, but her investing and financial and other wisdom and stuff that she shares, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Go to the library. Go to Amazon if you want to. Get this book. It'll take you a couple of hours. You can read it this week. Have an abundant, blessed weekend. Remember, you can go out and have a blast with your family. You don't have to spend a dime. Take them to the park to play frisbee. Take them to the farmer's market. You gotta go grocery shopping anyway. You need those pears. Okay? May not be any pears at the farmer's market right now. It's June. Some of you may have pears. I'm in Colorado. I'm thinking the farmers markets right now probably have some spinach and asparagus, maybe some strawberries. They probably have a lot of stuff, but it all came up from Mexico. That's fine. Have a great weekend. I love you. Have a fabulous weekend. I will pop on here for a little bit tomorrow to talk about family fun and fitness and enjoy. Bye bye.